Welcome to Chasing Winners. Peter O'Neill, David Shortte and Jesse Erenshaw are about to join you to preview the meeting from Mandurah in the Peel tonight. They will also look in depth at the meeting from Cannington tomorrow night. The boys will also be joined by Ryan Levitsky, who will provide his best over the 2 nights of chasing. Let the chase begin.
And a very good morning, everyone, and welcome along to Chasing Winners. Peter O'Neill joining you, along with Jesse Erenshaw and David Shortte. Shorty, good morning.
Good morning to you, Pete, Jesse, everyone tuned in to Chasing Winners. Great to be with you on this Friday morning. Not quite as fizzed up as this time last week, Pete, of course, with our Group 1s on the menu last weekend, but it was a superb weekend of chasing. I think really probably reminded a lot of us just how important the sport is to so many people. It was really heartwarming to see so many people out there trackside on Saturday night, and a big thanks to all of our industry members that took the time to join us on our live broadcast here on TAB Radio. Really enjoyed getting some of the stories from our local industry members. It was a great night, and looking forward to the chasing this weekend, particularly tonight down there at Mandurah. My goodness, we've got some real speedsters that'll be strutting their stuff this evening with the Good Friday Cup Heats. A great night of chasing ahead. Looking forward to that. And Jesse, the Good Friday Cup Heats tonight, there's a lot of strength there.
Yeah, no, 4 really good quality heats, so it's great to see that at Mandurah tonight. It's Mandurah's time to shine after the outstanding racing that we had at Cannington over the last couple of weeks. So it's good because we're going to see some of those 500-metre dogs drop back to the 400 as it's Mandurah's second richest 400-metre race, so the second richest 400-metre race in the state.
Okay, Sunset Frazier, what time will he go tonight, Shorty?
Well, there's a lot of people suggesting it could give the record a nudge. I'm not disagreeing given the sectionals that this dog has been running. It's just the last little bit's been testing. I nearly blacked out when I saw $1.90 available about this greyhound. It was very quick on the go button and happy enough to be involved. I think that's a superb price. I think it's now into around that $1.60 mark. I still think that's a great price with a vacant box on its outside. Sunset Frazier should roll straight to the top, and I'd suggest that it'll go pretty close to that record. It's humming at the moment, and this distance just looks to be perfect.
Just on that, Pete, we've seen some novelty markets in the past. Do you reckon Andrew could get a novelty market on whether he'll break the track record tonight?
I can ask him. I can reach out and ask him. Not sure if you have time to do it, but yeah, it's well worth putting the question out to him and see what his response is. Let's go to the first tonight over the 300 metres. Will any of these break the track record, Shorty? Social Equity, the favourite at 320.
I don't think so. They can run well, but I don't think the 300-metre track record's in danger here in the first. That said, see some pretty nice dogs that are likely to be running, I'd suggest, around the 17 flat mark, and I didn't have a lot between numbers 2 and 8. I'm just leaning slightly towards number 2, Social Equity. Greyhound that's just a winning machine. It's fronted up all sorts of distances, puts itself up on top of the speed and is always hard to run by. Number 8, Esperance Ace. It's almost a bracket selection. I love this dog when it draws this particular box. It gets room to operate, loves it out there. They do look to be very hard to beat. Then including number 4, Under She Goes. Very capable type on its night as well. We've seen it go as quick as 17.09 in the past. And number 5, Rio Harlow's chasing really well. This is pretty deep race for a mixed grade 5 and 6. 2 and 8, not much between them. Next best 4 and 5.
I'll go 6-2-5-8. I really like Magnesium here. He drops right back down in distance. He's been trialling the house down of late. I think he's going to be too good for these. From number 2 in Social Equity, been racing really well. Can't knock a greyhound that's won its last 4 starts. For third, number 5 in Rio Harlow, and for fourth, 8 Esperance Ace. 6-2-5-8, race number 1.
I'm going to go with number 2, Social Equity, as well to win from number 8, Esperance Ace, 4 in Under She Goes, and 5, Rio Marlow, 2, 8, 4 and 5 in race number 1. Race number 2 on the program tonight comes up over the 300 metres once again. My Maddie is an early scratching, and another open market here. Jesse, $3.40 the field with Ninja Fun. Drawn in box number 5 for Lexi Isaac, currently the favourite. I found this very difficult.
Yeah, it's a bit of a raffle here. I've gone with Argyle Rose on top. Hasn't won for 20 starts, but was a good third 2 back behind Esperance Ace, which is in decent form lines when she showed early speed. Doesn't have a terrible record from box number 4. She finishes in the placings quite often. For second, number 8 in Sophie Raider, racing well over the 380 at Cannington. For third, 5 Ninja Fun, and for fourth, I'll throw in 3 Athena Gill. 4, 8, 5 and 3 race 2.
4, 8, 5 and 3 for Jesse. This is a race I'm steering well clear of. It must be said that there's plenty of winning hopes, and there's not a truckload of recent form to really tip you into anything here. I'll go with number 5 on top, Ninja Fun, but not with any great confidence. From greyhound number 4, Argyle Rose, as Jesse alluded to, plenty of placings there. 8, Sophie Raider, really badly out of form of 8, 7, 8 next to its name, but in this sort of grade, wouldn't be a complete surprise to see it improve sharply. And 3, Athena Girl. But as I was saying, it's a race I'll be happy to watch. 5, 4, 8, 3.
3, 4, 5 and 8 for me just for tips. But yeah, I'll be watching as well. We'll certainly be investing in race number 3. It's the opening heat of the Good Friday Cup. Looking forward to this. This race was started 3 years ago. Kenya Cruz, of course, won the first year. And then Panama Pepper was the impressive winning in 2022, and Key Moment up at Cannington last year was successful from memory. Sunset Hornet, $1.45 into $1.40, Shorty.
Yeah, look, it's a pretty cramped quote to take, but the dog's in absolutely superb form at the moment. Sunset Hornet, last week 22.06, the week prior 22.10. It's been beginning really well, making its own luck. I thought there was potentially just a little too much between it and My Anarchy Boy in the market. My Anarchy Boy, while better known over 488, is a real Mandurah specialist, loves the track here, has run some very fast times over the longer distance. If the one was to do anything wrong, you can just see My Anarchy Boy swooping into the race out wide and really pelting home late. Number 7, Get a Beer, is a greyhound that has been racing in the free-for-alls week in, week out, performing particularly well. It can be there in the mix. And I thought number 5, Redhead Rider, was at a pretty big price for a dog that's also been in those free-for-alls predominantly in recent weeks and accounting okay for itself. So 1875, pretty short in the market, but you'd expect it to be fairly hard to beat tonight, Sunset Hornet.
I'll go 8157 with 8, My Anarchy Boy on top, just with a discrepancy in price. I think My Anarchy Boy's a little bit of a better bet. Broken 27 seconds over the 488. I think it's more than capable of running 22 flat over the 400 metres, but he's going to have to do it coming from behind with Sunset Hornet in front, who have got for second. For third, 5, Redhead Rider, and for fourth, I'll throw in 7, Get a Beer. 8, 1, 5 and 7.
1, 8, 5 and 4 for me. Sunset Hornet, I think, is a special, but at a special price as well. Race number 4, second heat of the Good Friday Cup. Favourite here is with number 1, Black Salmon, from $2.25. Hit touch $2.30, now into $2.05, and does look hard to beat from the inside draw here, Shorty.
Yeah, I agree. Like the way the greyhound's going, was an impressive winner last time out. Comes up with a nice draw here. I thought that it would sit right up on top of the speed and be very hard to beat. From greyhound number 7, Panadero Thunder, this dog's best is very, very competitive. It can run some slick times, as we've seen with that PB of 22 and 34. I thought number 2, Alden Manelli, was a dog that could really show up here at a nice price around that $7.50 mark. And number 6 in Sunset Callisto. 8, Sunset Cobra's not out of being involved in the tries and first fours either, but I'll go 1, 7, 2 and 6.
I'll go 1, 7, 8 and 3 with 1, Black Salmon on top, just from the box draw. He's only won once from 6 occasions, but he's got another minor under his name. Was a good run when defeating West on Whistle, jumping to the front last week. I think it's going to be pretty hard to catch. For second, 7, Panadero Thunder, greyhound that doesn't mind a wide draw. For third, 8 in Sunset Cobra, and for fourth, I'll throw in 3, Rubidium. She's another one who actually trialled really well, so look forward to seeing her in Masters Company, so follow her through when she goes back down in grade. 1, 7, 8 and 3.
I think Black Salmon's a good thing as well from the inside draw. Really smart win last start. 7, Panadero Thunder. If there's an upset, I think maybe it's coming from him. Number 6, Sunset Callisto, and 8, Sunset Cobra. 1, 7, 6 and 8 on race number 4. Kane Buckwell trained Sunset Cobra for his mum Kelly, and Kelly will be a special guest on the program on Greyhound Gossip on Monday morning. Shorty, she's been training a lot more winners of late. She's got a bigger team, and she'll tell us her story on Monday morning.
Look forward to hearing that. They have had a pretty good run of late too, Kane and Kelly, so looking forward to hearing a bit more about that on Monday morning.
Race number 5, first leg of our major quaddie, and Sunset Tyson is the favourite here at $2.50. Does look hard to beat Jesse, first up over the distance, but a greyhound that does show some early speed and just needs to be able to get out and with a slow beginner on his inside and outside, or slowish beginner, he looks hard to beat. Yeah,
he was mightily unlucky last week behind Sunset Mirage, led at the first corner and was just dragged down. So forget the run last week. I think he's more than capable over this distance of running a 22.10, 22 flat run. I've got him on top from One Little Wildfire. I know this greyhound's going up massively in class, but she's put in some handy performances, defeated All About Slate and Heart Emoji at his last 2. For third, number 3, Barrier Base, proven free-for-all greyhound in the past. And for fourth, I'll throw in 5, Who Told Tafu. Yet to put his best paw on the track, but we saw in a satisfactory trial he's gone 22-16s, 4, 1, 3 and 5 in race 5.
I'm just going to look for a little bit of value here. A greyhound that has been going really, really well in town of late and is capable of getting out and going, and that is number 2, Idle a While. It's a big price, around that $11 mark. I just thought in a race where the dogs around it haven't always sort of pinged out, Idle a While could find itself up on top of the speed here, and if that was to be the case, we have seen this greyhound run some pretty slick times, as quick as 22 and 30, and at the double figure odds, it'll get me for a little each way play. Clearly the dog to beat's number 4, Sunset Tyson, but hasn't always been the punter's friend, it must be said. It's gone under, so it's only won now 1 of its last 7 starts, and most of those it's gone round as favourite. So over the shorter trip, just want to see it get out and hit the ground running before I chime in at the price that's available there. Including number 3 in Barrio Beast, who's another track specialist and distance. It'll be charging home right in the mix. Number 1, Little Wildfire's a dog that's come through the grades beautifully. It's a real acid test. It's right up in class tonight, but gee, I think it's got a bright future. I love the way it's been going about its work. Looking for some value, 2 each way from 4, 3 and 1.
I'm happy to go with number 4, Sunset Tyson on top. I think he is the class runner of this field. Number 3, Barrio Beast, has been racing very well in free-for-all company. Number 1, Little Wildfire, and 8, West on Hazy. If there's an upset, maybe he can get across. He's been chasing really well up in free-for-all company, country free-for-all company in town over the 380 metres, 4, 3, 1 and 8 in race number 5. Now, Samara Pickett has sent through the scratching, so I'll bring you these before we go on. Reserves are out of race 1. Race 2, scratch 2, My Maddie, and 10, Bracton, so 2 and 10. Go down to race number 6, which is the race we're getting to. Stanger Fire comes out, number 1, and also 6, Sandpatch, so 1 and 6 out of race number 6. Race number 8, scratch number 4 in Oliver Gundy. So race 8, number 4 comes out. Race number 10, number 6, Tommy Fumble, is a scratching as well. Race 10, number 6, and that's the scratching. So thanks to Samara for sending that information through. Okay, so Stanger Fire was going to be probably one of the outsiders of the field anyway. Sandpatch comes out, and Sunset Ali is the favourite. 2.10, maybe with the scratching, as Sandpatch has shortened into $1.50 now. Shorty, your thoughts?
It should be winning while it's up in grade. The dog's just been an absolute machine on the way through the grades here. From box number 8, should get room to zoom early on, and that's probably all this dog needs to be taking care of business here. 22-26 last time out. The win prior was steaming, 22.04. And yeah, it's only ever been beaten once. It was runner-up on that occasion in 22.41. It wasn't a terrible performance. So from the draw, where it's had 2 starts for 2 wins, capable of running those really quick early fractions, I thought that Sunset Ali would be taking care of business this evening. 8 on top. The trim, I had made it one of my best, but with the trim up now, it's probably into as short as you'd want to be taking. From number 3, Our Benson, dog that has worked its way up to top grade and it consistently races really well. A couple of placings in those top grade races lets us know that Our Benson is certainly up to a race like this. 7, West on Miley, going well. Good effort last week when runner up. It can certainly be right there in the mix again. And I'll round it out with a greyhound number 4 in Super Pumped. 8, 3, 7 and 4.
I'll go 8, 7, 3 and 2 with Sunset Ali on top. I think it's going to be pretty hard to beat even from the wide draw. For second, 7, West on Marley, down from a graded company, was a nice run behind Sunset Hornet last week. For third, number 3 in Al Benson, and for fourth, number 2, Min Smiley. 8, 7, 3 and 2, race 6.
8 on top for me, Sunset Ali as well. Very talented chaser, loves this track and distance. Number 3, Al Benson's been knocking on the door. Number 7, West on Miley, and I'll put in number 5, Ace Glamour. 8, 3, 7 and 5 to add some value for the first 4. Race number 7, this is the 5th heat of the Cup, and All Over Carly is a greyhound that's been chasing extremely well. Greyhound who won in a really slick time up in town. 2 starts back, start number 50 tonight. Is one of the outsiders of the field with Sunset Frazier. I've gone to the wrong race, haven't I? No.
All Over Carly's in this race. This is Sunset Frazier's race.
This is Sunset Frazier's race, though, at $1.65, Shorty.
Yeah, and I think a great price. It's not normal that I would say a dog at a quote like that is a really good bet, but when you have a look at what Sunset Frazier's been doing at Cannington consistently, is the fastest early splitter, mid-splitter that we've seen against our very best elite city-grade sprinters. So here, obviously, you would expect first-time track and trip, but I think the way that these boxes are set up, Sunset Fraser gets a straight run to wind up, vacant box in box number 5. Long as it handles the circuit, it should be really not just winning, but winning and putting time on the board. So for Sunset Fraser, it's in all of my multis tonight. I must admit I was expecting something closer to $1.25, $1.30 than the $1.90 that was initially there and now $1.65. So, happy to have it in the multis tonight. From number 6, All Over Carly, the points you have raised are pretty good, Pete. A greyhound that's got its share of ability. 8 in Light Manelli, a dog I've got a lot of time for. And 7, Agent 11's been going super at Cannington. Some of the recent performances have been absolutely superb. 1 Rare Speed off the good draw can certainly play a part. Spooky Hook's good. There's some good dogs in this race, don't get me wrong, but if Sunset Fraser handles the 400 metres here at Mandurah on what we've seen at Cannington, it should be its race to lose.
Yeah, 4, 8, 6, 7 for me. Sunset Fraser on top. Just everything Shorty said's just spot on. He runs sectionals that we never thought were possible from some of these greyhounds. For second, number 8, Light Manelli, racing well in free-for-all company. Had a really good purple patch over the 300 metres. For third, 6, All Over Carly, another one who's been racing well, but I think she just finds the 400 metres right on her limit. And for fourth, number 7, Agent 11. 4, 8, 6 and 7, race 7. Mo's
just text through. He's listing in and he said he'll be able to put that special up. So have a look on your Tab Touch phone app and see whether that's there yet. But he was unlucky, wasn't he, last week, Shorty, when he got dragged down an important stage going past the judge the first time. And he still did well to hang on for fourth in the Cup. So 4, Sunset Fraser to win. 7, Agent 11, I'll put in for second. It's been chasing very well for Max Julian up in town. 1, Rare Speed and 8, Light Manelli. 4, 7, 1, 8 in race number 7 on the card. So Oliver Gundy comes out of race number 8 on the card here, and the market is down at the moment. Which way are you going here, Jesse?
I was going to go 176 for fourth. I'll throw in number 8 there. So 1, Butter Me Up on top. Was a good winner from a wide draw last week. Comes into box number 1 where she's had 2 placings from 3 starts. It's a similar field. I think she can get the job done here. From 7, Whole Shot I've got for second. Nice run behind Butter Me Up. I think they're going to run the Quinella again. For third, 6, Moose Banner. First up from Victoria. Interesting to see how he will go. And for fourth, I'll throw in 8, Tudor Light there. 1, 7, 6 and 8 in race 8.
And the market's back up, Shorty, with Butter Me Up at $1.85.
Yeah, I don't love the price. It'll be the trip's on its limits. The last little bit is pretty challenging, but I've got it on top from the good draw. It'll get a good look here. 7, Whole Shots of Danger again. It'll be charging. 6, Moose Banner's the unknown runner in this race. It's certainly in good hands with Cosy D'Agostino, and I'd never rule out any dog that Cosy has in its care. Only lightly raced, having its first look in WA, but certainly has to be respected. And I'll throw in number 2, Examiner for Cody Charles next best. 1,762.
I'll go 7 on top, Whole Shot. Don't like the price about Butter Me Up, but hasn't won from boxes 1 and 2 in 5 starts and 1, 2 and 3 in 8 starts. So I'm happy to risk 7 on top from 1, Butter Me Up, number 6, Moose Banner, and 2, Examiner, 7, 1, 6 and 2. To race number 9 over the 400 metres, and the favourite here is number 8, West on Willow at $2.65. Greyhound, who was a nice winner from this draw going back 2 starts ago. Time was good in the care of Damien Crudelli. I think can bounce back in the winners list after that unplaced, unlucky run back in December. Number 4 for second, Red Ned Gundy. For third, number 2 in Common Man, and 7, Lip Tricks, who was a nice win last start, 8, 4, 2, 7.
Pretty similar for me. West on Willow looks really hard to beat. Only has to rinse and repeat that run from 2 back, and it'll take a power of beating. So 8 on top, West on Willow. I'll then take number 4 in Red Ned Gundy. This dog comes into the race with pretty good form, albeit over shorter distances, but I think it's got enough zip to be able to put itself into the race and run well here. I thought 7 in Lip Tricks was very good last week when saluting. And I'll also include greyhound number 3, Apache Havoc. The 5, always respect anything that Kevin Phillips takes to the track. It's another one that is in the mix, but I thought 8 would be pretty hard to beat here, West on Willow. Jesse?
I'll go 3, 2, 8 and 7. I'll team up with Apache Havoc. Was a nice run last week from a wide draw. Comes into an inside box. He's got 2 slow beginners on his inside. I think he can get to the lead. He got to the lead last week, but was checked a couple of times I think 22.55, that's probably going to be good enough to win if he's out in front. For second, number 2, Common Man. For third, number 8, West on Willow. And for fourth, I'll throw in 7, Lip Tricks. 3, 2, 8 and 7 in race 9.
So Tommy Fumble was the second favourite with Tab Touch at around $4.20. Impress Rocks at that stage was $3.60. The market yet to be updated. Which way are you going here, Shorty?
I thought number 5, Impress Rocks, was one of the best bets on the program tonight. I really like this dog. It was stiff last week. All but crossed to the top, then badly hampered, and then came again late. Was only beaten 3 3/4 lengths after almost leading. It's just a dog that when it gets to this grade, it never hangs around for too long at all and just gets room to operate early. I think that's the key here for Impress Rocks. I thought it was clearly the class runner, and to my eye, this looks a super bet. More than happy to step in. I'm not sure how Trimmett will come up with Tommy Fumble coming out. It's a fairly open market. Hopefully it's still got maybe just the 3 in front of its name or high 2s, and at that price I think it's an excellent bet. So 5, one of the bets of the night, Impress Rocks. From greyhound number 8, West on Whistle. Thought number 7, Avgas Gundy, could play a part, and I'll also include greyhound number 3, Jumpin' Jules. It was a nice run last time out. 5, 8, 7 and 3.
I'll go 5, 3, 4, 7. 5 Impress Rocks. Last week I think we're on at a decent price and got into all sorts of trouble, like Shorty said, and to still come again late and run a solid fourth, I thought was an amazing effort. For second, 3 Jumping Jules, a nice run behind Cadia Gold last week. For third, 4 Leroy Keepings, running well over the trip, and for fourth I'll throw in 7 Avgas Gundy. 5, 3, 4 and 7, race 10.
5 on top for me as well, so Impress Rocks to win. Number 1, Mia Keeping, nicely drawn. Got a good record from inside draws. For third, number 4, Leroy Keeping, and 8, West on Whistle. 5, 1, 4 and 8. And to the last, favourite here is with number 6, Trevor's Gift at $3. I'll go with Mignon, a greyhound who's got a losing sequence of 6 now, but with this sort of drop back in grade, I thought it would be hard to beat. From number 5 in Cadia Gold, who's been really chasing well in easier races over the 400 metres, steps up to the 488 for the first time. I'll be interested to note your thoughts, Shorty, whether he gets that distance. Number 6, Trevor's Gift, and 7, Leclerc. 2, 5, 6 and 7 in race 11. 2,
5, 6 and 7 for Pete. Yeah, I think it will. I've been impressed with the dog. It hasn't really put a paw wrong since coming across the WA, and of course aiming up for 5 wins on the bounce tonight. Happy enough to take the 350 to find out tonight. It is a dog that just needs a few steps to wind up, so I'm just hoping that it can sort of steer clear of trouble, muster through into a spot, and from there we'll see what happens. It's a deep race, though. Number 6, Trevor's Gift, is a legitimate threat in the race. It was a good winner in slick time off a wide draw last time out. Number 2, Mignon's got a big motor. If it gets room, it's certainly right there in the frame. And number 1, Tick, 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 from the good draw. At draw where it wants to be. It just keeps punching up for runs. It's there in the mix as well. Greyhound lot number 7, Leclerc's certainly worthy of inclusion as well. Good race to finish it off. 5, 6, 2, 1 for me.
I'll go 1, 5, 2, 7. I didn't mind Tick, Tick, Tick from box number 1 here. He's got a slow beginner and a wide runner in Mignon on his outside. I think he can hold up and be prominent early. I don't think he'll lead, but he's certainly got a massive motor and he's really strong to the line. For second, number 5, Cadia Gold. For third, 2, Mignon. And for fourth, 7, Leclerc. And those numbers 1, 5, 2 and 7 in the last.
All right, let's go to Ryan Levitsky with his thoughts on tonight's program. The Good Friday Cup Heats being the feature of the Friday card next week. And don't forget, Chasing Winners next Friday morning will be on between 10 and 11 a.m. We'll be on air live from 8 a.m. on Good Friday. Ryan Levitsky. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, Pete.
How do we find you this morning?
Very well.
Straight out of the ice bath?
No, not this morning. No, about 10 a.m. I'll get the ice bath rolling.
Okay. What's your best tonight, please?
Well, I've got 4. Race 4, number 1, Black Salmon. Race 5, number 4, Sunset Tyson. Race 6, number 8, Sunset Ali. And race 8, number 1, Butter Me Up. And a quaddie, there's only 5 combinations. First leg, 1, 3, 4, 7 and 8. Second leg, standout 8, Sunset Ali. Third leg, standout 4, Sunset Fraser. Fourth leg, standout 1, Butter Me Up. And if you want to just blonk it, take number 4, Sunset Tyson, 1 out in the first leg as well.
Okay, and Andrew Hamilton has just sent through Ryan and Shorty and Jesse. After Jesse's request this morning, Ryan, Tab Touch are going to put up $3 about Sunset Frazier breaking the track record tonight. So that'll be a special bet being put up on Tab Touch shortly. So keep an eye out for that. If you think he can break the track record, $3 on offer. Have you done a quaddie tonight, Ryan?
Yep. Just said it, Pete. Sorry, 1, 3, 4, 7, 8 into 8 into 4 into 1. You must have got a bit excited with that tab touch flexibility market.
Do you like that? $3?
I reckon that's bang on. I think that is the perfect odds. I think if I had to set a market, I'd be saying $3 for yes to him for him to break it. What happens if he equals it? Does that count?
I would say you'd roll the old dead heat rules apply, half face value.
$1.50. All right.
Just remember at Mandurah, often when the time comes up, it often goes 0.02 slower. So don't get too excited. You'll need a little buffer, I think, because more than I'd say 80% of the time gets a little bit slower.
We saw that with Jimmy's Jet earlier on in the week, Ryan.
Exactly. Yep.
All right. We'll get up and about, Ryan. We'll have a lot of people listening in tonight. What about tomorrow night at Cannington?
Tomorrow night at Cannington, I like race 5, number 2, West on Boomer, to lead all the way. Race 7, number 2, Savic's going to love that easier race. And race 9, number 6, Solidified. So not much value there, but if they all win, the 3-leg multi will be worth getting involved with. And a quaddie, standout 2, West on Boomer. Second leg, 4, 7, 8. Third leg, standout 2, Savic. Fourth leg, 1, 2, 4, 7. That's 12 combinations.
Okay. Anything on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday?
There's a good thing on Tuesday, Pete. Andrew McLaren's Max's Odyssey, race 6, number 1 in a country 5.
All right. Good calling tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Pete.
Ryan Levitsky joining us. Your best in a quaddie, please, Shorty.
Best bets for me tonight, Pete. There's 4 of them. 4-1 Black Salmon, 6-8 Sunset Ali. Wasn't going to include it, but while it's around the $1.65, I'm more than happy to throw 7-4 Sunset Fraser into your multis and 10-5 Impress Rocks. So 4 really nice bets for me there tonight. From a quaddie perspective, look, there's a bit of depth in this first heat. I'm going to take numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 8 in that first leg, and if Sunset Tyson doesn't get the start right, you can go skinnier and just take it and idle a while there in the first leg to trim it up, but I'll take the punt there. Number 8 on its own, Sunset Ali to lead all the way in the second leg. In the third leg, number 4 Sunset Frazier 1 out, and in that final leg I'll go with numbers 1, 6 and 7. So 1, 6 and 7, just in case they sit close enough. I want to throw in Cozzy's dog, Moose Banner. It's a bit of the unknown in that particular race. So we're looking at $18 for a full unit. You can trim it up there and just take 2 in the first leg. That'll cost you only $6.
I like race 1, number 6, Magnesium, race 4, number 1, Black Salmon, and race 9, number 3, Apache Havoc. For a quaddie, we'll go 1, 3, 4 and 7 the first leg, 7 and 8 the second leg. Standout 4, Sunset Fraser in the third leg, and 1, 6, 7 in the final leg there, Pete.
All right, let's turn our attention across to the Saturday night program at Cannington. We start off with a novice. It's over the 600 metres and a vacant box in 5. Favourite currently Drifter at $3, Timon Lane at $3.50. Which way are you going here, Shorty?
I thought it was a pretty challenging way to kick off the program, to be honest with you. There's been some good performances handed in by some of these stayers in recent times. We saw Girl Hill get it done last week, defeat Drifter, but the box draws were reversed on that occasion, and accordingly, I'm going to flip it with the dog that will get back, but this time draws underneath him, and that's number 2, Timon Lane for Jamie Marsh, dog that's been really strong to the line. If 7 and 8 find a bit of trouble getting over into a spot early, potentially Timon Lane can sit that bit closer and be the strong dog late in the piece. From Greyhound, number 7, Drifter, 8 in Girl Hill, and I'll include number 6, Zinc, who's been racing pretty well over the 500 metres. Maybe a change of trip might spark the dog up a little bit as well. 2, 7, 8 and 6.
I'll go 2, 3, 7 and 8 with 2, Timon Lane on top. It was a little bit disappointing, I'd say, last week behind Girl Hill, but it was from a wide draw. Comes in a box number 2. I think should be pretty hard to beat from an inside draw. From number 3, Window Shopper. Greyhound around a good second over this trip behind Care Factor. For third, number 7, Drifter. Just worried about the wide draw over 600 metres, and for fourth, 8 Girl Hill, same thing. Just wide draws over 600 metres leave me out. 2, 3, 7 and 8 race 1.
I'm happy to go with number 2, Timon Lane as well. It's had a couple of starts over the distance. It was a nice second, that first one behind Care Factor. Just needs to be able to jump with them and position up and not get squeezed on that corner. 7 Drifter for second. Greyhound that could come across and cause some carnage from out wide. Number 8 Girl Hill and 6 Zinc. 2, 7, 8 and 6 in race number 1. Race number 2 over the 520 metres. Very open market here with Mustang Timmy at $4.40 and $4.60 about Burglemere. I'm actually going outside those two, Shorty and Jessie, and going with one, Wise Barra. Greyhound is in a purple patch of form. She's won her last three. She comes up with box number one, and I know she was defeated from this draw going back 4 runs ago, but it was up against a really smart field, and she got into early trouble there. She's won 5 of 10. I really have a high opinion of her, and I think she can win here. Number 3, Mustang Timmy, has been knocking on the door, can certainly play a part. Number 5, Burglemere. I'm not happy with the box draw. He needs to be able to get across from this draw to be a major player. And number 6, Shy Emoji. It's a good race as you'd expect, but I'll go 1, 3, 5, 6.
1, 3, 5 and 6 for Pete. This is a really challenging race for me because I really like Wise Barra as a canine, but I much prefer this dog when it draws up the track. It's done its best work traditionally when drawn sort of middle to wide. When it draws in, all it wants to do is get to the outside, and accordingly it can create a bit of sort of chaos around it. I'm going to actually opt for an each way play, and it's a scary ride early because the dog I'm going for is the dog that's drawn next to Wise Barra, but it's generally only a moderate beginner, and that's Vander Harley. My hope is that it misses the start. Wise Barra steps like it usually does, pushes up the track. If that's to be the case, it could be finding Mustang Timmy and Kenya Kraken. That will then leave the beautiful saloon run for Vander Harley to just roll up underneath. Last week it went sub 30 seconds, running 29.97 behind Sunset Comanche. This is a dog that ran sub 30 as well 5 starts ago when winning in 29.97. The dog's in really good form. It's maps to get a lovely run if it misses the red early, and that's the big if in this race. But you're getting
inside draws, not impressive, is it, for Vander Harley?
No, and it
hasn't won from inside box 6.
Can use a bit of the track, but I've sort of just explained how I think the race might work out, and it just needs to miss the greyhound there drawn on its inside early. That's the key to the race. You're getting double figure odds to find out. In a race that I think could be messy, I'm happy enough to have a small spec each way on number 2, Vander Harley. From number 5, Burglemere. This dog raced really well through the Perth Cup Series. Number 7 in Sunset Comanche, a chaser that certainly is capable on its night. If it was to sort of avoid that stuff going on the inside, it could be right there in the mix. And 6, Shy Emoji's got to be there and included as well. 2, 5, 7, 6. Respect the 1 and the 3. They've been going well, but I just thought they might find each other early doors.
I'll go 3, 7, 6 and 8. Geez, this is a really good provincial 5. Pete, we're just talking off the air about how hard it is to win a city novice, where you go straight into novices and you go into graded company, and you've got Daddy's Girl there. I think it's a Group 2 winner.
Yeah, up in Queensland
as
correct,
well. So
correct.
You could probably say that 6 of these 8 greyhounds in future will probably be open class free-for-all chasers in 6 months' time. So I've gone 3, 7, 6 and 8, though, with 3 Mustang Timmy on top. I thought it was a massive run behind Maximum Kerner. Just couldn't quite claim him in the shadows of the post. For second, it's 7 Sunset Comanche, a nice run. Picked up Vander Harley like it was standing still over the concluding stages, which is no easy feat. For third, 6 Shy Emoji, and for fourth, I'll throw in 8 Daddy's Girl. 3, 7, 6 and 8, race 2.
Yeah, there's no such thing as easy races in these grades at the moment, unless you're Jamie Marsh, who goes out and wins a novice in 30 and 60.
Blessed, isn't he?
And takes the prize money. Race number 3 over the 520 metres here. Watch the favourite on Tab Touch in the third, Madigan, currently at $2.60, Jesse.
That's the way I've gone. I was with him last week, 1, 6, 8 and 3. Didn't quite get Bungee Man over the concluding stages after leading early, but was a nice run. I've got it back on top from number 6 in Maximum Kerner, who took out that Perth Cup second consolation last week from an inside draw. Steps out to box 6. For third, 8, Nangar Chief ran some really hot sectionals over the 600 metres 2 weeks ago. I had no luck at a Perth Cup heat. For third, and for fourth, I'll throw in number 3, Cultabao. 1, 6, 8 and 3, race 3.
1, 6, 8 and 3 for Jesse there in the third. Don't love the draw, but like that, Jesse just touched on it. It's got Group 1 Galaxy form rolling through it, Nangar Chief. He set the fractions in that 34-40 win for West Ombooney. That was the writing on the wall for Booney to then go up and win heat and final of the Galaxy. So that form's really good. Then from box number 2 in the Perth Cup heat, go back and watch the run. It got badly hampered in the end to run 30 and 13 with the trouble it found thought it was a really good performance. It's been placed 2 of 3 from box number 8. It's won sort of 4 from 11 from boxes 6 and 7. So the dog can handle wide draws. Just a matter of what it does at the start here. So I'll take it just off that run 2 back. It really was on my radar. I'm going to continue to follow the dog. From number 1, Madigan, this dog's been excellent since coming across from Victoria. All of its runs have been electric. Number 5, Ripon Tomahawk. The old boy just keeps fronting up and hitting the frame. What a phenomenal performance. It has run top 3 its last 10 straight runs. Going into start 129, and last week was placed in one of the Perth Cup consolations. What an amazing old dog he has been, Ripon Tomahawk. He'll be at massive odds and he can run a place again. And I'll round it out with Greyhound number 2 in Sunset Mirage, coming off a sub-30 win last time out, 8-1-5-2.
I found this a really tough race. I think any of them could win. I'm going to go with number 6, Maximum Kerner. Now, he's won 2 of his last 3. I know his last start was from box number 1, but it was a really strong win over Mustang Timmy, so I'm going to put him on top to be able to get across. He's got a reasonable record from wide draws. Number 2, Sunset Mirage, a greyhound that did run that second, going back 5 runs ago behind Hinto. The times were good down at Mandurah. Just needs to find the form up here in town, and maybe that win last start will give him some confidence. Number 1, Madigan, and 8, Nangar Chief, 6, 2, 1 and 8 in the third. Race number 4 over the 715 metres, Jelly Manelli, $2.60. Massive effort. I remember talking to Cosy D'Agostino when he purchased her shorty some time ago, and he had some troubles in getting her to the track and then getting her to win. Her novices end up running through the grades, and she still hasn't won in town. She's been placed 7 of 11 starts at Cannington, and that was a huge run behind West on Booney in that Group 1 last week.
Indeed, and she's also got a runner-up behind Couchsurfer when Couchsurfer was going quite well not that long ago. Recent wins at Mandurah have been outstanding. I think she's a really progressive stayer, Jelly Manelli. She's starting to race a little bit like her mum, Flake Manelli, at different stages. That pedigree's kicking in. Thought that performance at Group 1 level last time out was eye-catching, and more than happy. I think the smallish field plays to the strengths of Jelly Manelli. Got back, but it doesn't always. We've seen the dog win at Mandurah, stepping up on top of the speed. But with greyhounds like Argyle Queen in this particular race, Speed Freak can show some early. Dewana Sensei, you'd think they'll take care of the early tempo. Jamie Keeping and Jelly Manelli will just flop out, get back, and then just charge home all over the top. I think she's a special. One of the best bets on the program, Jelly Manelli for me. From greyhound number 1, Dewana Sensation, locked in for the placings, including number 7, Stevie Manelli, who gave a lot of cheek, was just run down late last time out. And I'll also include the Galaxy finalist, number 2, Argyle Queen, 4172.
I'll go 4, 2, 7 and 8 with 4, Jelly Manelli on top. Was massive in the Galaxy final, just as big in the heat behind Chloe Ant. For second, number 2, Argyle Queen, obviously a Galaxy finalist as well. For third, 7, Stevie Manelli. And for fourth, I'll throw in 8, Speed Freak. 4, 2, 7 and 8.
I'll go 4, 5, 7 and 1. Jelly Manelli was an eye-catching run last start. She gets a long way back and she'll be charging to the line again. Jamie Keeping and Stevie Manelli could be the dogs that actually steal this race if Jelly Manelli finds any trouble. So they'll be up in front. So 4 on top from 5, Jamie Keeping, number 7, Stevie Manelli, and 1, Dewana Sensation. 4, 5, 7, 1, race number 4. That market is now up with Tab Touch 2 for Sunset Frazier to break the 400-metre track record. Currently $3 on offer with Tab Touch if you like that. Race number 5, first leg of our quaddie. It's over the 520 metres, and on Tab Touch here in the first leg of the quaddie. The market is currently suspended. That doesn't help me. West on Boomer Shorty has only won 1 of 9. I'm going to be tipping him on top. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I like the way West on Boomer's going. Pete had to do a bit of work last time out, copped a fair few checks in the run, and in the end was beaten into third behind Sunset Mirage. But prior form there at Mandurah has been elite. It's been running some very quick times, and I just think the dog's really starting to work it all out. Very progressive. Mandurah form's been good. Comes here with pretty good confidence. I thought it was a really good opportunity to bring up another victory. So I'll stick with number 2, West on Boomer. Going to make it a special on the night. From number 5, Spider Venom, can improve sharply in a race of this nature. I thought number 3, Seriously Lush, was very capable in this sort of grade. No luck last week. I thought the run in the Perth Cup was very, very good. It's certainly at a nice price and worth including. And number 7, In Call Waiting, is another dog that has got an engine. 2537.
I'll go 2-5-4-3 with 2 West on Boomer on top to lead throughout after some really impressive Mandurah efforts. Wasn't disgraced behind Sunset Mirage last week. For second, number 5 Spider Venom was a good run behind Sunset Mirage in the same race. For third, number 4 Long Johnny, just speculating him over the 520. He's only had one start, finished down the track, but ran a nice second to Sunset Ali when showing some early dash. Could be one to keep an eye on. And for fourth, I'll throw in 3 Seriously Lush. 2, 5, 4 and 3.
Number 2 on top as well for me, West on Boomer, the brother of Apple Crumble, who's won $38,000 in stake money. You always love it when you follow the other litter mates, don't you, Shorty? And they've all gone on to win a fortune, and yours is still trying to win a novice. 3 for second, Seriously Lush, a greyhound who's got a lot of ability. That was a really good run behind Uncle Tommy, 2 starts back. Number 5 Spider Venom, and 4 Long Johnny, 2, 3, 5, 4.
Pete, you're speaking to a person that owned the full brother to Tommy Shelby, Jumbo Jet, so I completely understand what you're talking about.
I know. It's a tough game, isn't it?
Indeed it is. Yeah. But look, to be fair, we were never going to own Tommy, and we had one of the best rides of our life with Jumbo Jet. It's still to this moment the best dog that I've owned. He was an absolute beauty. So, I guess the upside is you get to join the ride with the full brother, Tommy, who was phenomenal through that period of time.
Yeah, Tommy Shelby siring both of the Group 1 winners last week, and Uncle Tommy is the name of the race number 6 on the program. Congratulations to him. Brilliant win, and well done to the Withers and the connections of the After Party Syndicate. Sneaky Emoji, the favourite here in race number 6 at $2.10. I'm going that way. Forget the run last start when got hampered early on, and dropping back into this grade and over the 600 metres. I like his chances. From number 8, Care Factor, who's won a couple of times over the trip. For third, number 4, West on Nugget, and 1 Wooden Hands. Nicely drawn in saying that. Greyhound has never won in 12 starts from box number 1, but could play a part in this race. 7, 8, 4 and 1.
7, 8, 4 and 1 for Pete there in race number 6. I'll also stick with number 7, Sneaky Emoji. Just needs to get it right at the start from this particular draw. From number 4 in West on Nugget, very strong dog. Just needs to sit close enough. If it does, it'll be nice and strong late. 8 Care Factor's been really good up to the 600 metres, and 1 Wooden Hands, as you alluded to. No surprise to see it bob up in a race of this nature. 7, 4, 8, 1.
I'll go 4, 7, 8 and 2 with 4 West on Nugget on top. Was really good in the Galaxy Constellation, defeating Steve Minelli by a length and a half. Came from behind on that occasion. Won twice from 14 starts over the trip with another 6 minus. I think he can improve on that 34.83 personal best, and there's not a lot of early speed in this race, so he's probably going to land a bit more prominent than he has in recent starts. For second, number 7 in Sneaky Emoji, first up over the trip with a good win 2 back over the 520. For third, 8 Care Factor, proven 600 metre form, but it comes from a wide draw now. And for fourth, I'll throw in 2 Sky Minelli. He's run some nice races over the 520, 4, 7, 8 and 2.
Just noticed a story come out, Jay, as Jay's been ruled out of the Golden Easter egg after his run last night. Shorty, would he be a greyhound that slot holders would be talking to? For the Sandgroper?
Well, if he's coming out now after that run last night, I'd say no. He was defeated last night there at Albion Park and looked to have every chance. It didn't look to be its very best there last night. Jay's Jay, very talented Queenslander, went at its top, but if it's
3 weeks to prepare for the Sandgroper?
I wouldn't have thought so, no. Not off last night's run. I think if it had come out and run to its standard form, then you'd probably say yes, but it was convincingly beaten late, and that would suggest something's not quite right.
All right, race number 7 on the program at Cannington on Saturday night. The favourite is number 2, Savick, at $1.60. I'll be going that way. I think he can find this race much easier. From number 8, Chloe Ant, number 1, Penny Magic, and 4, Disco Trixie. 2, 8, 1 and 4, Shorty.
Indeed. Look, the price is no spoil, $1.60, but I think it'll be winning Savick. Really strong canine. I love the way that it's going in small field. Shouldn't find Touchwood too much trouble. I think it'll be all over the top late, running down number 8, Chloe Ant, who's the logical danger in the race. 1, Penny Magic, and number 4 in Disco Trixie. 2, 8, 1, 4.
I'll go 2, 8, 4 and 1 with 2 Savick on top. It was really good his last 2. From number 8 in Chloe Ant, I was a little bit disappointed in the Galaxy run. I mean, she did run third, but she went, some 6, 7, 8 lengths slower than what she did last week when she led all the way as well. For third, number 4 in Disco Trixie, and for fourth, I'll throw in number 1 Penny Magic. 2, 8, 4 and 1 in race 7.
They're at the start at Scone for race number 1 on the program. We'll be going there shortly. Torino's come up as the short price favourite, although the market's just gone down in race number 8, Shorty, final leg of the quaddie, and it was quite impressive, I thought, at Mandurah first up.
Who's that, sorry?
Torino.
Yeah, it was. Time was steady, 22.70, but certainly can play a part, you'd think, in a race of this nature. I thought it was a fairly challenging race, to be honest. I've gone with number 7, Touch of Tommy. Runs a lot of placings, certainly not known as a winning machine, but he can play a part. From number 8, Luxio Wave. 6 Enjoyable is a dog that certainly comes into this race with each way claims, and I'll include number 4 in Paid in Full, 7864.
I will go 1, 8, 6 and 3 with 1 Torino on top as a good qualifying trial winner. From number 8, Luxio Wave, back to Cannington, the first time in his career. Has run some nice times at the 400 at Mandurah. For third, number 6, Enjoyable, and for fourth, I'll throw in 3, Midnight Kuna, 1, 8, 6 and 3.
I think the Chili Man could walk on water at the moment. I'll go 1 from 3, the Kennelmate Midnight Kuna, 6 Enjoyable, 7 Touch of Tommy, 1, 3, 6 and 7. Last couple of races. Okay, to the last couple of races on this program at Cannington, and number 6 Solidified. It's the favourite at $2.65 for Crystal Shinners. I think she can have a race-to-race double, or not a race-to-race double, but a double in the last couple of races. Solidified, a greyhound who I've been tipping in recent starts. Didn't have a lot of luck behind Go See Katoni last start, and I thought it was a good run behind Mapunga Smoky in the heat of the Perth Cup the week before. So 6 on top, vacant box will suit him. Number 4 Carter Axelrod was a nice winner over the 600 metres last start in that dead heat. For third, number 2 Harley Manelli, who also dead heated, and 1 Andre Bale, 6, 4, 2 and 1.
I'll also go with number 6 on top. Sneaks under your radar. This dog's won 8 of 10 track and trip, so very, very good record over the distance. 6 on top. From number 1, Andre Bale. Well, this looks Andre Bale's opportunity to show us what the dog's got under the bonnet. It's been unlucky at a couple of runs, drew wide, 3 back. This is a good chance for Andre to put its best paw forward. 2 Harley Manelli and 4 Carter Axelrod, who dead heated last week, and they should be there in the mix again. 6, 1, 2, 4.
I'll go 6, 4, 2 and 8 with 6 Solidified on top. Yeah, 10 wins, 10 starts, 8 wins. That's a terrific record over the trip. He's out of form, to be honest, but he's been racing against some really talented types, and he drops back to a smaller field size, which I think should suit his racing pattern. From number 4, Carter Axelrod. For third, 2 Harley Manelli, and for fourth, I'll throw in 8 Zyland Bale. 6, 4, 2 and 8 in race 9.
And to the last on the program, this race over the 380 metres, I'm going with a greyhound that's got a good strike rate over this trip in Sassy Snickers for Justin Wood. Nice winner, 2 starts back in a really slick time. That was from an inside draw. Has won from box 7 in the past, and I think she can win again. 4 Speedy Willow, I'll put in for second. It was a good run behind, a little bit twisted after getting checked early last start. 2 All About Quartz, and number 8 Tahiti Dream. 7, 4, 2 and 8.
Yeah, they've drawn together some really good speedsters in this particular race to round out the card on Saturday night. I'll go with the 7 Sassy Snickers, just off that 21.47. It's a very eye-catching performance on that occasion. From 4 Speedy Willow, never far from the action. 2 All About Quartz has got the draw advantage on those others. And number 5, Hopeland, is another dog that's been racing quite well. 7, 4, 2 and 5. Good little short course race over the 380 to round out proceedings. Jesse?
Yeah, 7, 8, 4 and 3. I think you'd be pretty mad to tip against the track record holder in Sassy Snickers after that run 2 weeks ago. For second, number 8 in Tahiti Dreams. For third, number 4 in Speedy Willow. And for fourth, I'll throw in 3 Riley Keeping. Wasn't a bad effort over the 275 on Monday, I believe. 7, 8, 4 and 3 in race number 10.
How many greyhounds hold that track record?
Just 2.
2, yep. Okay, just 2.
Only 2, Pete.
Your
Wouldn't
best
mind it.
and a quaddie?
Race 4, number 4, Jelly Manelli. Race 6, number 4, Weston Nugget. And race 9, number 6, Solidified. For a quaddie, 2, 4, 5 and 8 the first leg, 4 and 7 the second leg. Stand out 2 Savick in the third leg, 1, 6, 8 in the final leg there.
Shorty?
Best bets, race 4, number 4, Jelly Manelli. Race 5, number 2, West on Boomer. Race 7, number 2, Savick. Quaddie, first leg, numbers 2, 3, 5 and 7. Second leg, numbers 4, 7 and 8. In the third leg, I'll go number 2, Savick, 1 out. And then in that final leg, going there with numbers 4, 6, 7 and 8 in that final leg. Punters looking to get involved there, $64 for a full unit.
Okay, just before we go across to the first coming up from Horsham, and those numbers have been confirmed. Race number 1 on the card from Scone, 1, 3, 4 and 8, that information at Tab Touch. I mentioned the Sandgroper Shorty, and there's been a couple of greyhounds that have been locked in during the week, and we mentioned J as J, that's why we got onto the Sandgroper. What are the other greyhounds that the slot holders would be looking at the moment, in your opinion? Any others out of the Perth Cup Carnival? We heard that Trooper Tears is likely, and they won't make their decision for the Total Container Solutions until late, but likely Trooper Tears will be their runner. Any others out of the Cup that you'd be choosing?
I thought Mapunga Smoky was enormous in the Perth Cup final. It was badly bumped early on in the race when looking to find a spot, was knocked out back in the pack, and then late in the piece was able to pick itself up and smash the line, ran quick time in its heat. Mapunga Smoky would definitely appeal to me in this race. Hector Fawley's the interesting runner, Pete. So it's at this stage, in the early stages, it looks like it's going to be a race just littered with early speed. I think most people that have sort of picked their dogs have gone for, and to be fair, Cannington's a track that does suit those dogs, but there is a world where if they do all find each other a little bit, Hector Fawley, if he could sneak that run up on the inside, it has got one of the most exciting finish and bursts in Australian greyhound racing. And I like the fact that they've looked outside the square. They've probably looked and thought, don't know if we've got many dogs that can match it with the early splitters that have been announced early, but maybe they find each other, and Hector's the sort of dog that can be steaming him at the last little bit. But gee, it's shaping up as a hot race. It's going to be superb. And we get to see Morton go around before the first tomorrow night, Pete.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. He's flying across, and he'll be staying with his dad, I believe, Tommy Shelby. So hopefully we might be able to get a pick up on to our socials. Just on Tommy, Uncle Tommy. I know we're talking after the event, and we didn't want to talk about him before the event, but his speed last week, and he's shown it before, but it surprised me a little bit that he was able to get across so quickly. Is he a dog, and it would be obviously box dependent, and a lot of these in this final will be box dependent, but would he be a dog that slot holders would be looking at the moment?
Oh, look, potentially. He's got a Group 1 under his belt now. He knows the track really well. It's a dog, as you touched on, that can show that really good early pace. Probably would need to just improve that PB a little, to be fair. I think 29.91, sort of around that 29 sort of 8 range has seen the dog out to this point. And you'd think if one of these dogs that's sort of touted to be here settle in, it might be the sort of race, if one of those dogs can lead, you might have to run a 29.4, 29.5 to actually win the race.
And if you're David Hobbies, we've heard, has purchased into a half slot into one of the slot holders. If you're David Hobby and he's obviously going to use one of his dogs, do you choose Sunset Frazier knowing that he's going to be weak late and hope that there's trouble behind him on that first corner?
At this stage, I would say that's probably how he's going to go about it.
Worked well for Crumble last year.
Well,
yeah,
it did.
Exactly.
It did.
Exactly.
But I think this time, though, that knowing who is already nominated for the race in other slots, they are all... Well, 4 of them are genuine speed merchants as well. Whether or not they can go quicker than what we've seen with Sunset Fraser, and that's why, I mean, if you think he's that good, take the $3 tonight to break the track record at Meandra.
I will be.
Yeah,
I will be.
That's it. But you understand what I'm saying, though. Like, it's going to be a race with a lot of early pressure, and I think a lot of it will come down to where it sits in the run, Pete.
Don't think you can underrate the WA dogs at the moment, even against the interstate chases. We saw it in the Perth Cup Carnival. I mean, the Victorians did come, they brought their best, and they did dominate the heats, but when it comes to the final, home track knowledge is worth its weight in gold.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good advantage to have.
Well done, Shorty, last week too. A lot of positive feedback from you and Leia with the coverage with the outside broadcast, and you'll be trackside for the Sandgroper coming up from Cannington as well. So looking forward to that.
Thank you, Pete. Yeah, and to Leia, she was a pleasure to work with. And as we said at the top of the show, to all of our industry, without them turning up, it wouldn't have been the night that it was.